That's cool, isn't it? You don't see that every day, a trailer on a trailer. Morning, Street Switch Photography. Let's go and take a look in the park. So what is the reason for entering the park this morning on this Monday? Yes, it's a Monday morning. There was a what was it called? Two-stroke Sunday, yeah, going on down the park yesterday. So there was an event in the park and everything else going on. And I just thought we'd pop down and take a look to see what's going on. I mentioned they're going to be cutting the grass in the village and everything. You know how it is. Have a look at Scarfest coming up very soon. And I will be there. That is awesome. And there's some other events that are going to be on the 13th of July 2026. Now, what I didn't realise is Town Estate have only got 4 people that actually work for them. Morning. And they use, well, they are in charge of the town park, the park just across the road, just across the bridge, which is Melton Park, and then you've got the cricket pitch. 70 odd acres, plus they're also in charge of places in town, plus the Asfordby Road golf course. Now, it was quite busy down here yesterday at the village, and I see a lot of people online complaining about rubbish bins not being emptied, litter left everywhere and everything else. Well, there's only 4 employees, okay? They can't work fucking miracles. There's your village. And again, with what these guys have to put up with the vandalism from the kids and stuff, and let's be honest, it's mainly kids that do it when they're off school, so that's when the vandalism seems to happen. When I was a kid, if we used something in the park, we left it in exactly the same state we found it in. So for example, if I was to use the swing area and everything else, and I bought bottles of pop, packets of crisps, cartons and things like that, I'd pick my rubbish up after me and place it simply in a bin. But nowadays youth seem to think that if you come down with all that sort of stuff, I've just got to show you this because I've never seen this before and nobody's on the park at the minute. And I'm going to take a photo of it for the video. I'll include that in the video. I'll probably use it as the thumbnail. This place is open now as well. This is the ice cream parlour. I don't know who's taking it over, but yeah, that seems to be open more regularly. There's a little sign here. Hugo Friends Dog Walking, a very dog friendly park. And again, as I was saying before, they've only got 4 employees now. Between them, they have to cut the grass, arrange events, do the Tuesday market, do the stockyard market, do all of that between 4 or 5 people. So they can't get everything right all of the time. It's only natural they're going to get a couple of things wrong and make mistakes and things like that, the same as any other company do and everything else. But I personally, I've been following them for quite some time now, and I don't know if they'll get the grass actually cut today because it's wet weather. And when you've got wet weather, when I used to do what do you call it, grounds maintenance, it basically just mulched the grass up. Now basically the reason I've come down here is because the other day I came down and I recorded after a load of lads had left the football pitch thing that's in here. They left a right effing mess. They did not clear up after themselves, and they just left bottles, crisp packets and Christ knows what else strewn absolutely everywhere. Now some people say, because I've been reporting fly tipping and things like that, why don't you get a litter picker and pick it up? I'll tell you why. We pay something called council tax in this country, and you pay for services to be there and you pay for them to be done. And if someone's threw a load of litter away, I'm not looking after some fucking child. It's not my job to pick their litter up. It's, you know, it's the incompetence of these people that leave it fucking strewn everywhere. Why the fuck should I pick it up? And yes, I will moan about it, because if somebody came into your house and just basically emptied a bin liner full of shit all over your floor, you would expect them to pick it up, wouldn't you? It's called having morals and common fucking sense. But again, yeah, I'm quite a big advocate for the town estate and everything else. And they got, I mean, I was sort of talking to somebody yesterday, somebody that was nothing to do with the town estate, but they know a lot about it because I think they're a historian, and he was saying the amount of crap they get off people is unjust. So for example, they were chopping trees down last year. Now a tree's lifespan is about 150 years, maybe 200 years, some depending on the breed of the tree. And they have to chop them down and they plant more. Now they planted a load over in the cricket field over there, and guess what? A load of kids come along and decided to kick them over. Now if you know anything about planting trees, when you plant a certain amount of trees, only so many of them will actually grow and take, what you call take, and actually grow. Now I think they planted about 300 over there, so they're replacing the trees that they're cutting down at a massive rate. In fact, they're tripling the amount of trees that they're cutting down. So why people, you know, people aren't doing their research before making these fucking assumptions that everything is just, you know, that town estate are ruining this and ruining that. It's very unjust what they actually, what some of these people say. And I don't believe it's fair on the guys that work for town estate. I mean, they're trying their best with what they've got, you know. 4 employees and a massive area to cover. All this area has been tidied up, and as you could see in the park, even after an event yesterday, the next morning, it was clean and tidy. You heard it here first. So I'm just going into, I don't know what this one's actually called, I just know it is the cricket pitch. It's an absolutely massive plot of land that they obviously use for playing cricket. You can see all the trees they've planted and everything else, but they also have to look after the memorial gardens, which is quite a large area as well. I mean, it's a massive area they're covering with just 4 or 5 people actually employed by town estate. Maybe they should have the budget to employ more people, but they haven't. I don't know where the budget comes from, I don't know enough about it, but here's all the trees they've actually planted. Now most of these trees, or a good majority of them, will actually die. That is a natural thing that happens when you plant trees. I know this because I've done grounds maintenance myself, and I've done bits and bobs like that in the past. But all this area here will be like a little walkway, as you can see. And all these trees were planted, I think, a couple of years ago. So at the moment, they're still what would known as saplings. And as you can see, some of them are actually growing quite well. Some better than others. Don't know what that sound is. I don't know whether you heard that. But yeah, I mean, they have to mow all of this. And again, it's difficult to mow this when it's wet. So it's quite weather dependent, as I said before. It can just mulch the grass up. And believe it or not, people will complain if the grass is not cut. Now they leave this area rough for what you call wilding. So they leave the grass long around these areas and leave it relatively untouched. And again, I come down here quite regularly for a walk. They've had this re-tarmacked because this road was horrendous at one point. Absolutely horrendous. Now I think it's a pay and display car park. I don't know how often it gets used, but we'll walk down to the pavilion and then we'll take a walk back, and I'm going to pop into town and have a cup of coffee, and then we'll go back through the park and see whether they're mowing the grass today in the park or not. If they're not, there will be good reason for it, and that's because the weather has been too wet to actually cut it, and it can damage the actual grass and stuff. So I haven't got a fetish with grass, by the way. I'm not a grass fetishist. Is that even a word, or is that even a sentence? I'm not the cleverest bloke in the world, and I never fucking claim to be. But you know, this is an adult channel, there's the odd swear word here and there and stuff like that, but I try and keep it more or less for everybody. But yeah, they've got speed bumps down here now as well. I've just nearly tripped over one. I'm a clumsy git. But look how well kept it actually is. I mean, free for anybody that wants to walk the dog round here, come down for a game of footy, come down for a picnic or whatever. It's always open to the public to take a walk round and to do whatever. Now, I don't know whether they're going to be using this pavilion a bit more this year. I don't know if it's available for bookings and things like that as well, so you can book it for like birthday parties and wedding receptions, or maybe just, you know, book it for a party of whatever description, excuse me, I've got hiccup, you want. I've got hiccups now. So please pay and stay. Yeah, so it is a pay and display car park, just so people are aware. But look at those two old trees over there. Now they're old trees. And this backs onto Nevada Park. If you can see there, it backs right up to Nevada Park, and that'd be a river that's this area from there. There's the school over there, the memorial gardens just across the river. We'll take a walk round the bottom here. Here's your pavilion. Mainly used for sports, mainly the cricket, I think. And it actually looks in pretty good shape, to be fair. But we'll take a walk round. You've got a little football pitch at the back here as well, so the kids can come down and have a kick around or whatever, if you live close to the place. I mean, it is a nice area. A lot of people do use it for dog walking, and a lot of people do respect it. I'll show you the monument on the way round, or the sundial, because that's what it is. It's a sundial. I mean, but look how well the grass is kept down here for the cricket. If anybody knows what that little building is there, or what it's used for, is it just for spectating, or is it something different? It says something up there, look. What's that say on it? Let's have a look. I'll zoom in. Don't know if you can read that, but there you go. And as we walk around the back of the school, there's a little boating area down here as well. Now, I don't know where the boats have gone. I don't know whether they were taken away because they were vandalised. Again, going back to the vandalism that goes on, especially in the summer holidays and things like that. It's hard for Town Estate to actually keep up and everything else. There's your boats. So they haven't disappeared. They've just been moved. So there's your boats, look. And here's that little barge that they use to clear the river out. It's got like a little hook thing on it that grabs all the rubbish out the river. If you can see that. That's the little barge and boat that they use. But yeah, there you go. There's your boats. There's your little barge that they use to clean the river out. Quite cool. So here's a question for everybody, and I don't know whether you'll know or not. If you're into cricket, which I'm not, I'm afraid, we've got the Football World Cup coming up, haven't we? But what the hell is that? And what is it used for? What is it? Now, I don't know. I will find out. I'll ask Dean, the Town Estates events manager, if they're doing any events for the Football World Cup this year. I don't know whether they'll have it on in the park or whatever. And like I say, if it's if they do, I will cover it. I'll cover it for them. I don't mind covering things for Town Estate. They put on some bloody good events. We've got Scarfest coming up, which last year was absolutely booming. It was packed, and I mean packed. And if you've seen the Christmas market that was put on, that was something to behold, I've got to admit. Now, people were still coming out even though it's absolutely pissed it down. And people still came down into town to see the artists that were on the stage and to have a look around the market. We're having Super Saturdays and things like that. You know, There's more reasons to come to Melton now than there ever has been, and that is bringing money into Melton, and that is what we need. That's what we need. We've now got the bypass. For me personally, I can't now see any excuse from what I used to do, which was go round moaning. And I did do a lot of moaning, and in some cases I was incorrect, and I'm the first person to hold my hands up when I'm wrong about something. But this year crime rates are down. Crime rates are down. There was a point where I was coming into town every single morning and there'd be a cop car or forensics van parked outside some shop in town because somebody had broke into it and stole the charity boxes. Not seen nothing for weeks on end. Shoplifting is down. They've got new radios, new CCTV system. They're trying their best. But anyway, here's what we came down for. This is what I wanted to show you. This little monument here, it's been here a while. And just as I said that, I can hear cop cars. Just my sodding luck. Thanks. But we know the cops are very questionable at the moment. But here's the little monument, look. The little sundial. So photo of that to include in the video. I'll get down a bit lower and do it like that. So there you go. Let's walk back through Melton Park. Let's take a walk back through there, see what's happening, and we'll go from there. Now I'm going to name this video "What a Town Estate Up To Today," because I'm going to be following them and seeing what it is they actually do. There won't be any slagging off or anything like that, because if there's questions that need answering, if somebody's got a question that they want to ask Town Estate, crack on, I'll go and ask it for you. I'll ask them. I'll obviously select the best ones. So for example, how often do they cut the grass? Do they have to treat the grass? Why do they chop trees down? Why do they do this? Why do they put on certain events? These are questions that could be answered quite easily instead of just slagging them off. Just ask the goddamn question. So I'm just about to enter Wilton Park again. I think it's called Wilton Park. They have got facilities down here that you can come and use. Football, table tennis, badminton, normal tennis. I think they've got a couple of netball hoops as well. And you can come down and use it. I don't know how much it is. I don't know if you have to pay for it. I'm not sure. It's got a pay and display car park down here as well. Oh. They're on about putting a little new pavilion down here just over there at some point, so you'll be able to get drinks and food at the pavilion. Now I know that this was cleaned up, not yesterday but the day before, and they were using it yesterday. Now that looks a lot better than what it did if you compare it to my last video. But again, they shouldn't have to do this. They shouldn't have to be walking around here cleaning up after lazy bastards that can't go and put their rubbish in a bin which is right next to the gate that you enter it in. They're spoiling it for everybody else, and I think what should happen is they should sign something. If they're booking this, if there's a booking system, they should sign something to basically say if you leave it in a state, there's going to be a charge for it. That's just an idea of one of the things that the town estate could actually do to prevent it from happening. Because then they could put their energy towards other things like emptying the bins and cutting the grass and everything else. And again, only 4 employees for all that area. Hey ho. So a nice quiet Monday in the town park. They're emptying the bins and litter picking now, as you can see. Looks like the grass was cut out here a couple of days ago. It is fairly short. In the village it's obviously going to get done when the weather's a little better. Weather depending, or weather pending. Weather dependent. They've put grass seed down here because there's a patch of grass, so they have to patch over the grass if they've had an event and it's caused this to happen. But yeah, there's always one of the town estate around somewhere. Now, it's a very old thing, the town estate is. It was here before Melton Borough Council. So in my opinion, they probably hold more jurisdiction or more power, they should do by rights, more power than the Melton Borough Council, but that isn't the case. So they've got the mower out ready by the look. So they might actually do it today. I mean, I'm walking on this ground here, and it is quite, weirdly, it's quite dry. But this is the gadget they use to cut the grass. And there you go. Now, we do know there has been a couple of events actually cancelled due to very low ticket sales and things like that, so there's not a lot they can do about that. If they haven't got enough tickets and they can't obviously cover the costs of the actual event, they're not going to put it on, are they? You're not going to throw a party expecting 500 people and then find out a couple of weeks later that only 2 people are going to turn up and you've spent a fortune actually laying on the food, laying on all the entertainment and everything else. So it makes perfect sense to actually cancel the event and everybody gets refunded with the tickets. So there you go. Oh, thunder. Oh, get out. Oh, okay. Sorry, gotta go. So as I walk through the Bell Centre, I've just been sent a message with evidence that the Salvation Army, yes, the Salvation Army, the charity, are actually supporting illegal immigration. So I thought I'd take a walk up into Melton Bell Centre and just stand outside and do a little bit of recording. I won't go in and cause any trouble or anything, but there's your Salvation Army in Melton Mowbray. They don't seem to advertise it very often, but here's a quick screenshot of what it is exactly that this disgusting charity are actually doing. So it was originally created to help veterans and things like that, but when you've got veterans that are homeless on the streets, do you think it just that they should be helping these other people? Because I personally don't. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen the last clip. It absolutely hammered it down. But yeah, here in the Bell Centre, I call for a boycott and stop giving them shit. Because if you give to that charity, they're basically giving that to other people that shouldn't be getting help. They've come across and entered this country illegally. Now make sure you're watching the meeting tonight at Melton Borough Council. It's going to be interesting to do with HMOs in Melton Mowbray. Let me just wipe the camera. I'm just about to go and check on my scooter while there's a lorry coming in. Yeah, my scooter looks absolutely fine, wet through but fine. But yeah, I mean, this isn't the only charity that helps people like this. There's also Oxfam, which I did a video for over in Syston, which did very well, 40-odd thousand hits. So now I feel it's time for an impression of Rolf Harris. Hey. So this is the series of paedophile impressions. We've just heard Rolf Harris, so now it's time for old Uncle Jimmy Savile. Lovely, 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 how's about that then, touchy, touchy. Oh dear, what a wet day that was. Christ, it pissed it down. And with the news of the Salvation Army helping migrants, I believe there's other places in Melton that are helping them as well, but I won't say where they are yet because that's an investigation that I'm doing. But now, because I've just done the very offensive paedophile impressions, of which some lefties will find extremely offensive, even though they love paedophiles, you know, that's just one of the things that happen in and around cities and everywhere else, isn't it? Let me just get past this van that's reversing. I've not seen it rain like that for a while. But yeah, it's been a bit of a different morning, so I'm just going to walk over here and do my outro whilst we're across the road from the Memorial Gardens and outside Edward Argy's office. I haven't shouted through his letterbox for a while. Here's a clip of me shouting through his letterbox. And as you can see from that clip, he didn't answer. But anyway, this has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now.